This is the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time! Presenting the champion of the world, Phil! WamBam Benamino!
Yo, it's your boy, it's WamBam Benamino here, and it's another WamBam Wednesday. And we got another great episode for you, and I can't wait to go over this. Remember, this is the show about ordinary people that do extraordinary things. But first, as always, this show is free, and we ask that you do one thing. Number one, give us a little bit of love by making sure you subscribe our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. And not only when you subscribe, make sure you also hit the little alert button. And, of course, give us a like, give us a share. Send it to some people. Because keep in mind, just because you're watching the show, and if you're not subscribed, nobody knows. We don't get credit for that stuff. So give us a little bit of love with that, all right? And also, by popular demand, because you asked for it, we got the WamBam merch. Go to WamBam's website, wambampodcast.com, and order your new merch. We got your hats. We got your shirts. We got everything you wanted. So we listened. And keep in mind, as always, if you have any questions or you want to say anything at all, you can go ahead and reach out to us at wambam@wambamspodcast.com. Send us that email. And we address all of our customers. So keep that in mind. In today's episode, I got a good one. I got a female athlete. And you know what? I'm just going to leave it at that. Because not only is she an athlete, but she's international, well-known in Jamaica, well-known in New York, living in Arkansas right now, came through Atlanta, hot Atlanta, put her stamp on Atlanta too. And she's got one heck of a story. She might have an Olympic medal too. Yeah, she does. Yeah, shot putter. I think she's a shot putter. She shot put, did something like that in track. But we're going to talk about it. And you know what? She's coming in. And I think she's coming in right now. And there she is, the beautiful, lovely Dominique. How are you, baby?
I'm phenomenal. Thank you so much for having me, Phil.
No, thanks for your greatness for being here today. I can't tell you how great it is to see you and that $1 million smile that you have.
Thank you. It's worth a lot.
It's worth a lot.
I love Atlanta. I love being here. Your episodes, y'all are doing big things.
Yeah, we just get started.
I'm so happy I'm gonna be in the original class. Because when you get to episode 5,000, I want to be like, listen, I was 15. I was episode 15, and we did it big. So thank you so much again for having me on the WamBam podcast.
Thanks, Faye. Thank you so much. Well, you know what? I want to get right into your story because everybody doesn't know, and I know a few things about you, but tell them a little bit about where you're from. I know you're from Jamaica, man.
Yeah. You know what? I'm close. I'm close to you. I'm from New York. I was born in New York, raised in Kingston, Jamaica.
There we go.
Moved back to New York when I was 13. So did high school there. Went to Harriet Truman in Co-op City in the Bronx, and then I've been running track and field my entire life. And
wait a second. You're not a shot putter? I told the viewers you might be a shot putter. No.
Right, can't you tell by my frame? I'd be the skinniest shot putter alive. And yeah. So
wait, what events did you run? You
honestly, in high school, anywhere from indoor season, I did the 50 dash, 100, 200, 400, 800. I stopped at the 800. And every relay up to the 4x4. No, I did dabble in some 4x8s, but I think when you're a great athlete in high school, don't mean to toot my own horn, but when you're really good in high school, you do more than one. Come on. Yeah. So you do more than one event, and I did everything just to make sure we could secure that championship every single year. And then I went to Penn State. I'm a Nittany Lion.
Penn State, baby.
Yeah, the Joe Pa era.
Okay.
The Joe Pa era. And, did some great things there. I'm a record holder there. And went on to be an Adidas athlete for Team Jamaica because I have dual citizenship. It's the benefit of your parents.
What is that like? What is that like, having dual? I mean, when people ask you where you're from, what do you say?
Whatever I want.
Okay. I guess you can do that. You can do that.
I'm a citizen.
But you got to pay taxes both places too, though, don't you?
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. We love taxes here.
Yeah. Yes, they do, especially in New York.
Yes.
They do. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so, I get to live under two different sets of rules. In my opinion, I'm going to go on record to say the London 2012 Olympic team, right, is the best Olympic year ever.
Yeah.
We had the greatest athletes in one village: Kobe, LeBron, Michael Phelps, Gabby Douglas, Venus and Serena on any given morning.
And Dominique Blake.
Yes,
right?
Baby, Usain Bolt. Like, listen, It's just so much. And, you know, when you're in that moment, you have to like say, this is happening right now. I have to remember this. I can't be too cool, you know?
Did you get a little starstruck? Did you?
Yeah, we all did.
Right,
we
yeah,
all did. You know, Team USA would come over and support us for our events, and we'd go over and, you know, it was amazing. The entire basketball team would come over to track and field and just be front row cheering for us, and we'd go over to amazing, a movie, literally a movie. But on any given morning, I'd wake up, go for a morning run. Venus and Serena would be there with their coach going over their game plan for their match.
Wait
for
a
that
second.
day.
They actually practiced?
They actually practiced.
So professional athletes practice on a daily basis?
That's not
early?
that's not the exciting part. The weird but hilarious part and ongoing joke for any Olympic Games is they run out of condoms every time.
What?
There's so much sex happening at every single
There's
Olympic
a good
Games
one.
because you got to think so much discipline is happening. So as soon as your sport gets through with competition, everybody.
I was going to
turns to
say,
bunnies.
because before that, this is a sexist thing
Oh,
that
my
you don't
God.
want to have before you compete.
A lot of babies are conceived. Let's just say,
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
It's going down in the village.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and I was in London. So.
I got to be honest with you. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to have that experience in an Olympic team.
Yeah.
So, dang, really?
I wouldn't have any of the sex. I just want to put that on record.
Okay.
But yeah, the after parties are cool. The biggest artists come and hang out and celebrate with us. Like we just had Lil Wayne just performing randomly at a Coca-Cola event, and you know, Team Jamaica is sponsored by Puma. I see your Jamaican flag.
That's right. You like that, huh?
Yeah.
You got it right there
Yes.
for you. That's right. For the
And-
viewers.
Oh yeah, so you know, we had Ziggy Marley just hanging out, having drinks, and then he'd get up on the mic and just break out into performing. Like, listen, if you ever get the chance to go and
Wow.
hang out
I mean, I've been to
at the
Olympics. I
Olympics.
went and watched them, but I didn't realize
2024.
I didn't realize the inner
yes.
groups of them. The
Oh,
sex
yes.
was a big deal. Like,
Oh yes,
you know,
a
I
lot
guess
of beautiful kids are made. Yeah, so that's my experience. Walked away with a bronze medal. And
Now, hold on. Let's talk about
Oh, yeah.
that for a second.
Sure.
So, getting a bronze medal, big thing, obviously, in Olympics and stuff. But I know you as a person.
Yeah.
Did you feel a little bit neglected because you didn't get the silver or the gold?
No. Maybe that's my fault.
Were you content? Were you content with it? Like, yeah. well,
Never content. You always want the goal, but listen, to walk away with hardware from any Olympic Games is just phenomenal.
100%.
You know what I mean? And so this is just a lesson. You know, my entire life, ever since I could write, pick up a pen and put writing on paper, I always said I want to be an Olympic medalist. I need to be an Olympic medalist.
Now, wait a second. Hold on, because I know a little story I want to ask. I want to know if this is true.
Sure.
Because I was told, like, when you were growing up in kindergarten,
Yeah.
and people used to have career days.
Yeah. How do you know that?
Hey, man, this is Wham Bam, man. I know
Yeah.
things, man. I know
Wow.
things. I don't always put it out there, but I know
Wow.
things.
Yeah.
Okay. But so tell us about the career day when you were growing up. What was it like? I mean,
Okay.
most kids come in, they want to be a doctor, a professional athlete.
Yeah. So, you know, I was always the same exact thing every single
So it
career
is
day.
true.
Yeah.
Tell the
Kindergarten, grade school, I really just dressed up as the same thing, and it was an Olympic medalist. I'd take some foil and make it into the shape of a medal, and I'd put a little string on it, and I was going to be
Olympic. So you willed this to happen
I
from you
willed
were
it.
a kid. You knew from a kid. I mean, and you know, I heard that story because I heard it before when they said that, you know, you didn't do it just when you were kindergarten. You didn't do it again in first grade, but you did it again in second and
Every
third and fourth. Like you
single- yeah,
you
I
came
was
at the same
teased.
thing. You were the same.
They knew. Dom coming as it's not even going to be a surprise.
She's coming as an
And
Olympic medalist.
Yeah, you know, so
Now you got your own medal. So at Halloween, do you dress up? Do you wear your own medal now? Is that part
no,
of your
now
thing?
I get to be like sexy and slutty like everybody else. You know, that's the point of Halloween. This year, I want to be an avatar.
Oh yeah, the blue.
So a lot of
I
body
can see
paint.
that.
Yeah, I'm
I
like,
can see that. You'd be a good at it.
all right, I need to have better tits, but you know,
Nah,
hey,
yeah, but
it's
you're
all right.
the athlete for
Yeah,
that,
I can go to
too.
Victoria's Secret and
There you
make it happen.
Well, you know, we can get a doctor that can help you out with that if you need to.
So here's my thing. I'm not really a fan of plastic surgery and all that. I'm a fan of looking good. And I think that when you have a fit body, it is more valuable than anything. You can walk into any room and mentally own anybody.
Yeah.
Because that's discipline. You know that person didn't get that overnight. And honestly, other than the bells and whistles of it looking cute and sexy, the long-term effects, you know what I mean? When I hit 80, I want to look like this.
Well, you look great, number one, but
Thank you.
I'm going to say something about what you just made, a comment about, discipline. That is huge and very important.
Yeah.
But they also say that you can judge a person's wealth by the size of their stomach too, because they're eating better.
And gout.
Did you ever hear that one? Yeah, the gout.
Yeah,
the gout. So, with the big Italians like us, we're used to that.
Hey.
So growing up, being a kid and running and, was that something that you knew right away as a kid that you were fast and you were going to be a runner?
You know what? My parents just put me in every sport. I just wanted to do everything. And running was just the common denominator. Eventually, I think, and this is for all the parents out there, when you have kids, I think it's great to just, because when you're a kid, you don't know what you don't know. Even as adults, we don't know what we don't know, right?
Right.
So if you can really surround yourself or put yourself in as many things as possible, what you're passionate about or what you really love will kind of rise to the top. All the stupid things that you don't care about will weed itself out, and you'll really just kind of prove to yourself, you know what? I'm really good at this. Hey, I'm way better at this thing than everybody else. Maybe I should stick with this. This actually gives me pleasure.
Now running. Now, when you were running, where did you run? Where'd you go? Like,
anywhere.
Were you running from things?
From the kitchen to the bedroom as fast as I can. Okay.
Were you running from your brother? I mean, did you have siblings?
Yes.
What was it like?
Yes.
Were you running from dad? He's going to spank you? Did you do something wrong?
No, never got spanked by my dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just really intense stares, and I knew. I don't like to be embarrassed.
Well, your dad's not an ordinary father, is he?
He isn't. But my mom would
We'll
be.
talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about that in a minute.
My mom would be the disciplinarian in terms of any spankings, right? Get me in line. My dad would never.
So what you do? What was that? Make you sit down and you couldn't run?
You know what? All you need in life is maybe 2 good spankings, and it'll set you straight for the rest of your life. I'm like, I don't want that to happen to me in public, and I don't like the feeling of that. So maybe it'd be easier if I just listen.
Yeah,
right?
That's true, 100%.
And let me tell you something. For people in society that don't act right, I always say they never got fucked up.
Yeah, but today you can't do that. You can't hit your kids today. Like, we're growing up, I did the same thing.
Well, what's going to happen?
My father would reach behind me like this, trying to grab me if I was, if he was in a car driving. And that was it. I see that hand coming. I'm trying to dodge.
Italians and Jamaicans.
I knew when we pulled over, we were in trouble.
Wait till we get home.
Yeah, exactly. But, and you're right. It only happens once. Because after that first time, you're like,
no, set you right.
Yeah, you know it's going to come.
So when I see people outside, adults that just don't act right, have no discipline, I'm like, you never got your ass whipped. Like a real good ass whipping. So, yeah. But my mom would be the disciplinarian. And thank God, there's this well-mannered, beautiful, polished product in front of you today.
Well, so getting back into the running, because I got to be honest with you, I hate to run.
Everybody hates to run.
I always say this because you never see a fat runner. So it's like, to lose weight, which I've always struggled with my whole life, always, with wrestling and cutting weight and everything else. You got to run. And I hated running. And unfortunately now at the stage where, I have a knee replacement and I want to run.
Yeah.
And you can't.
But my question to you.
Now I wish I could run.
Did you run when you were a wrestler?
Of course I did.
Right.
Of course I did. I didn't run like you. I didn't enjoy it.
You know what?
But
and I'll say this like Muhammad Ali said it and like Usain Bolt said it. I hate it every day of practice. Well, I love some of it.
No, you loved it, you said.
I love practice, but when we get to competition, you get to showcase your practice, right? When you get on the podium, people cry, and when you guys see Olympians step on that podium and they have their hand over their heart and they're singing to their national anthem, it is not that they're receiving in that moment the roses or the medal. It is all the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears that we're crying about, all getting through all the rounds on a torn hamstring, having a fever and making it through the 6th round like Jordan. Right. Those are the things, the sacrifice, your mom knowing that, man, it's either this money to pay the tuition or my kid, you know what I mean?
Right.
Those things. So you remember your journey, you remember your struggle, and that's where the tears and appreciation come from on the podium. So, yeah.
Running though, again, it's the most boringest
It is.
Unless you're competing.
But you know what? It
And
can
that's what I'm saying. When
euphoric.
you're going against somebody, it's like anything else. You're racing now. Now I like to run.
No, now it's I'm gonna fuck you up.
Oh,
In the mind and physically. Now listen, this is an individual sport. So all day long I'm turning left. So I need a good chiropractor. I always need a chiropractor. We always have a great chiropractor.
we had a great one on here on
Oh,
the
yeah.
show a few weeks ago. You got to go
yeah?
back in the episode. Yeah.
All right.
Got a little soft wave
Come on,
tissue.
hook it
Matthew
up.
Duduro, man. Big shout out to him, man. You need to check him out. Soft
Hook
wave
it up,
therapy.
Phil.
Yeah,
Come
we
on
got
now.
you.
You
We
are
got
the great connector, by the way, right? God put you here to connect all the human beings. So I'm going to
thank
take
you.
advantage of that.
Thank you so much.
Right. So, I realized very early that I'm in a non-contact sport. The only way I'm going to make contact is in your mind. And I live there rent free, right? I don't give a damn. I'm going to show up to practice. I'm going to be the first one there, the last one to leave. You're not warming up better than me. You're not tying your shoelaces better than me. I'm going to spit in your fucking lane if I have to.
You're a savage.
Savage,
right?
baby.
It's
It's such a psychological competition. Like,
Let's talk about that real quick. 'Cause
Yeah.
psychological is so huge. Like some people mentally, they don't realize the importance of getting that right.
Yeah.
They get their body right, they get set up right, but mentally, you
Doesn't
can really
matter.
mess with somebody.
Doesn't matter.
That's how I was in wrestling too. You mess with somebody, you looking
Yeah.
at them, staring at them, you stare them down. Even fight game, people staring at you. You have that face off. I mean, that's important.
So, and you know what? And all athletes have a shelf life, right? And this is what I tell when I go into universities, when I do public speaking events, my staff, and we have staff meetings weekly. When you are not outworked, or when you can outwork everybody else and you're confident in your skill set, it doesn't matter. You're going to rise to the top and you're going to walk away feeling accomplished because you've done everything. It's like showing up to a test and you studied.
Right.
There's nothing. Listen, you ever showed up to a test and don't know a goddamn thing on the test?
No.
It's the worst thing.
I don't know how these kids get a zero.
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, you get points for putting your name on top.
Listen, I just do eeny, meeny, miny, mo for through A through D and just pick one. But it's the worst thing when you're not prepared, you're not confident in your skill set, and you just like, it's a toss up every time. And so that is my pet peeve. So with track, I always wanted to be the most skilled person. Now, listen, whatever talent God gives you, he's saying, hey, do what you will with it.
Tell the viewers real quick.
Sure.
What was the event that you actually performed in track?
So my event was the 400. And so when I went to the Olympics, I got selected for the 4x4.
Now that's one time
Relay.
around the lap.
One time around an outdoor track. Indoor, it's twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So just
for all
kind of
those
let the
people-
viewers so they can kind
Yes.
of put a visual with that.
Track and field for dummies.
Yeah, track and field for dummies. So it's one lap.
One lap on
And
an
you're done.
outdoor track, and you're done. Well, your body will have lactic acid, and you'll be on your back, kind of recovering for the next 10 minutes after. But the race itself, yes. So you train your entire life for 50 seconds or less.
All right, I gotta ask because there's a lot of questions, and I've had other athletes on the show here prior to. I had 4-star football athletes, I had wrestling, national champions and wrestling stuff, Olympic star. I want to know, what is it like preparing not just before your meet, but
Sure.
even afterwards? What is the one most important thing that you said you have to do for your body?
Before and after, or just after?
Let's go before and after.
Well, listen, there's nothing that's going to prepare you. The work has to be put in weeks and months before, right? So off-season training is where you gain your base to prevent injuries. So we do over-distance training. We'll do a lot of hill work. There's no cleats happening in off-season training. So now, between now and August, pros will come back. The college kids start training this week. Practice starts this week, right? And shout out to the University of Arkansas coach, Chris Johnson.
Razorbacks.
The Razorbacks. A woo pig, baby. I'm a Nittany Lion forever, but right now, I'm an adopted Razorback, so I support the Razorbacks fully. Shout out to Coach Chris Johnson and Boogie Johnson. Boogie Johnson just got hired. Full circle moment. The Johnson boys have changed track and field forever. So that's happening. You're going to see some ridiculous stuff on the college side.
Yeah?
Mark my words.
Is it bigger than football over there? Because football
yes.
is bigger,
Listen, the University of Arkansas is the only place that you'll go in the entire world where track and field gets more love or just the same love as the football program.
Wow.
They're off. Listen,
That's huge.
maybe the Oregon University of Oregon because Nike's there.
Right.
So
right.
they have like a different outfit every day just because, But the University of Arkansas, definitely, they pour a lot of resources into their athletes. They'll go anywhere in the world to recruit athletes. There's nothing.
So if you're a runner, that's where you want to go.
That's
Arkansas,
winning is culture. It's a tradition, period. Cancel Christmas, close your eyes. It's happening.
Wow.
Right? You don't go there unless.
Okay.
Right? So quickly, people get out of there because they can't handle the pressure, kind of like working with Phil. Right?
It happens.
Right off the bat, you know what you're getting.
Right.
And so my coach, he was a grad assistant there, and he got me as a freshman at the University of Penn State University. Excuse me. So the level of excellence and expectation that I've just been raised and groomed with, is ridiculous. I'm praying that this generation needs it. So if your kid's going to Arkansas, they're in good hands.
All right. Well, if you're a runner, for sure.
Yeah, if you're a runner, for sure. So yeah.
So obviously, was there any other athletic sports that you were involved in besides running?
Absolutely. In my earlier years, soccer, swimming, tennis, but again, the one reoccurring sport was track. I realized
back to it.
There was no, I'm blowing these kids out of the water. And, I was tall for my age. I'm 5'10". I've been 5'9" for a very long time. So I'm always that kid at the back of the class picture,
Well, listen, you were raised in New York, right? You went to high school in New York?
Born in New York, left before I was 1, but came back for every major holiday.
Because they got a lot of athletes that can run.
Yeah, they do.
And for you to be one
you know what? My dad got a cricket scholarship from Kingston, Jamaica, and that's how he got to New York. My mom ran a little bit of track, dabbled, but she did softball and gymnastics. So from a very athletic family.
So it was in the genes.
It's in the genes. And apparently I heard I have a great grand uncle that competed for Jamaica back in the day. I didn't do a whole lot of digging, but it's in there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Man, we have to try to find that guy.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Well, he's dead. I don't know.
I know, but you don't have his name or
No,
not?
I recently found out.
Wow.
No, I'm going to find out and do some homework, and I'm going to tell you.
Do some homework on that.
Yes.
One. That's cool. Do you think that's something you're going to instill in your children? You're going to have kids one day?
100. Yes, in the next 4 years.
Yeah. Oh, you got already tuned in.
Oh, yeah.
You got a lucky man already? What do you got?
They're on the shelf right now. I'm not playing any games.
Wait a second. Are you single? Come on. I got you on air, man. We want to know it's live.
No, sometimes of recently, and I say sometimes because when you don't act right, I can become single.
Oh.
And I'm not married.
Okay.
Right. And so I'm spoken for right now.
All right.
And so
Smart man.
Or woman.
Or woman. All right. I go there, right?
Yeah. And so, working through some things. And so until I'm married, I am technically single. But it wouldn't be wise to try and get into this right now, unless you're really confident that you can sweep me off my feet. But no, I am in a relationship. So.
But children, you definitely want children.
No. Definitely having children.
Having children.
Yes,
okay.
in the next 4 years.
Okay.
Right. So that's my plan, unless God says otherwise. But yeah,
are you gonna dress him up as an Olympic star
yes,
every
I'm doing it all.
Doing the same thing.
Listen, I didn't work this hard to not have fun.
Right.
Yeah, I'm doing all the things, doing all the mommy things. But you know what? I intentionally didn't have kids early or because I knew the discipline that one would suffer. Right. I'm so one track minded. Either I'd be dragging the kid or my career would be dragging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just wanted to make sure that I had my priorities straight, and I'm doing it in order. I don't want to have any regrets. And I think more often than not, people bring little humans into this world and they don't think about that. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah,
you have some amazing kids, and you're a phenomenal dad.
Thank you.
And the balancing act to have a great partner and really work at your passion and really be great at it. Mediocrity to me is just not an option. So I just wanted to make sure I took the right steps to get there before I brought little Doms into the world, because they're going to be something serious.
That's awesome.
So,
that's good. Well, at least you thought it through.
I did.
You have a plan.
My parents did a phenomenal job at providing just knowledge, resources, and showing me what the landscape of doing life at an excellent level. And I'm just like, look, if it ain't this, I'm not doing it.
Right.
It has to be this or better. So,
being at the Olympics and being an Olympic star, representing Jamaica at the time, you said you have dual citizenship.
Yeah.
What is it like with Americans? Was there any conflict there at all? Or was
it's a lot of love, but once we get on the track, everybody is every man. Listen, we may be training partners, and we compete for different countries, but once we get on that world stage, Phil, I don't know you.
You're right.
It
was all good.
It's all good. And once we cross that finish line, it's hugs, it's tears, it's motivating, it's cheering your teammate on, because we could belong to the same training camp, but belong to Adidas, belong to Nike, belong to Puma, belong to 2 different countries. Or we could very well belong to the same sponsor, belong to the same country, but again, it's every man for himself in their respective lane.
Now, did you try to go to the Olympics with the Americans, or did
Absolutely not.
So that was automatic.
No.
You're
it was a business decision. I'm a businesswoman.
All
right.
Good.
So yeah.
Hey, first of all, we got to thank our sponsors out there. We want to thank Cost Plus Processing, the leader in merchant processing. If you're a business owner and you're taking the credit cards and you're still paying card fees, make sure you reach out to Cost Plus Processing at 1-855-391-9190. That's 1-855-391-9190. Stop spending those fees and call them today. All right, we're back to the show here, and I'm with Dominique Blake, the Diamond. I like to represent her too.
I love it. And I'm also in the Diamond State. Arkansas is a Diamond State. Shout out to Cost Plus. Like, y'all been doing things for a long time.
Yeah, we're getting it done.
Right?
We're getting it done. Yeah.
Right?
They've been great. They've been great sponsor too for us. Help us out.
Speaking of sponsor, we got to talk offline. I would love to see how I could be a part of this with our brand and get some great sponsorship going for
Appreciate
WamBam.
that.
Yeah.
WamBam loves that, man. We haven't gotten there yet, but thank you for being there. You be the second one. That'd be nice.
Listen.
That'd be nice for the brand. So, you know what? Hey, getting back into, you talked about your family a little bit.
Yeah.
Mom did. Well, tell us a little bit about your growing up. Now, what was it like with your dad and stuff? Because I think there was a time when you found out something about your dad that you didn't know.
Yeah. My dad, honestly, so growing up, we'll start here. Very lavish lifestyle. Before I became Dominique Blake, the serial entrepreneur, the Olympic medalist, I was Val and Viv's kid.
Gotcha.
First and foremost, they're both from Kingston, Jamaica, both kids with ridiculous aspirations, coming from where they came from. They didn't come from a rich family, but they both had something in common that I don't even know that they both identified. My dad's now passed. He passed away in 2010. My mom, lived the life of 100 men. He went out on his terms, in my opinion. So, my mom lives in New York, bounces between New York and Kingston, Jamaica. But they both, I'm in my adult years realizing from their primary and early years, wanted the most and just everything for themselves and for their family, right? And they did everything to make sure that they stayed focused, to make sure that the universe aligned them with getting there by any means necessary, So where my mom lived and where she's from in Almontown, Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica, she was facing Beverly Hills in Kingston, Jamaica, right? So she grew up with 4 other siblings, 3 girls, 2 boys, and her mindset was always, after coming from school, ending a day, she would always look up at Beverly Hills, and she said, look, one day she'd tell her mom as a kid, we're going to live on that hill. We're going to live in Beverly Hills, right? Beverly Hills, Kingston, Jamaica, not LA.
Okay.
And my dad, was the protege of the then Prime Minister Edward Seaga during the 70s. And so apparently his mom was the side chick to the Prime Minister,
What?
right? Yeah. And he.
So wait a second. What exactly did your dad do?
My dad was a genius mathematician, just a smart kid, and the Prime Minister of Jamaica that time realized how intelligent he was, put him through school, and eventually he groomed him basically to take care of the government, through various businesses, legal or illegal, at that time. Now this is now.
Wait a second. You sound like a little kingpin to me.
A lot of the world would coin him as Jamaica's most intelligent and largest kingpin. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Dare I say
so
it was Pablo Escobar and my daddy.
Wow. Come on.
Yeah, but he's very intelligent because again, his mentor at this time is the president of Jamaica, the prime minister.
Oh, wait a second.
Right.
Even so, largest drug lord in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Hell of an entrepreneur.
Hell of an entrepreneur, hell of a dapper gentleman. But again, he wasn't groomed just by anybody, right? So he didn't go down in history as a terrible, maybe some would coin, listen, it's a Robin Hood story. Some people would give their firstborn child to my family, and some people would love nothing more to see our demise. So it's that type of thing. And I think that's anywhere.
Did you know that? Did you know that growing up? Did you?
You know what? I knew we were respected. I knew we had a great life. I knew there was a lot of love, and my parents did a wonderful job of protecting me and shielding me from anything that would be negative or anything that I wouldn't be proud to speak about as a kid. Because you got to filter kids, right? Kids shouldn't be just exposed to any and everything because they have to, balance that and become an adult one day. And you don't want to raise little psychopaths. Right. So I don't think kids should know everything. But yeah, they didn't tell me everything. And I didn't need to know that. I didn't want to be robbed of my childhood. And I'm happy that they didn't rob me of my childhood. So I got to live a very amazing childhood going through life. And my dad was just very, very intentional about getting good grades. Not having good grades, that wasn't even an option, right? And for those of you who know any Caribbean people or any African people, the discipline,
baby.
Oh my
Big
God.
D. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you're the first to arrive. You make sure you're prepared. You work the hardest in whatever it is that you're doing. And that'll allow you to walk away with confidence and doing your best job. And that should be enough. Helping other people.
Well, that definitely rubbed off on you. But when did you really find out? When was the first time you really knew that your dad had this?
Who the hell he was?
Yeah.
Kids are nosy, right? So I try to dig into things, but I really honestly didn't know as much until I was 21.
Right. Wow.
I'm literally.
Wait a second, you're in college?
I'm in college.
Come on.
Right? Swear to God. I'm in college at the NCAA National Championships at the University of Arkansas.
What?
At indoor season. And it's always in my birthday month in February, my birthday weekend. And so an episode by this time, do you remember American Gangster with Denzel Washington?
Of course.
Right.
Yes.
So BET did a series called American Gangster.
Yes.
And my dad was one of the episodes, his life story and his organization, and it was crazy.
And you found this out at 21.
I found this out at 21, sitting in a hotel room with my teammates and the rest of everybody else in America and the world watching this BET episode. And I'm like, well,
that's my dad.
That's my life. And they showed a picture of me.
What?
Now, listen, they had me on the episode, and I didn't know when it was going to get released. Did an interview with BET, just being asked regular questions, but they pieced it together, and now there's a timeline. And I'm like, wow. Now, I will tell you this. We do have a book on Amazon, and it's called Shower Posse. And my dad wrote it, co-wrote it with my brother.
Can the viewers go online and get it?
Absolutely, yeah.
What's it called again?
Shower Posse.
How do you spell that?
SHOWERPOSSE.
Nice.
Yeah.
Go there and get it.
Yeah. So, I intentionally did not read that book because I think sometimes, something exists, but you don't want to know. Right.
Yeah.
And I know that, sometimes when you're telling a story, a lot of things may be true, but a lot of things may be embellished for viewership or readership. And so I kind of wanted to know directly through my parents and just through living.
Yeah, but you know what? Let me ask you real quick, because that's got to be a little touchy subject for you. But I'm going to go there anyways, because growing up, obviously, as I'm guessing you're the only daughter, right? You was his little girl.
One boy, one son. I mean, one daughter, one son.
So all you have is your relationship that you remember with him.
Yeah.
That was good.
It's great.
You had a great
Phenomenal.
relationship with him,
Yeah,
right?
the
I
best.
mean, he raised you well, he taught you well, and he did his job.
Yeah.
So he wasn't a bad guy by any means.
No. He was phenomenal. My dad is the most giving person ever. Let me tell you something, right? After I graduated college, I made the decision to move back home to Kingston to take over the family business. He taught me as much as he could. And so we are really, he was ahead of his time. I'm gonna tell you right now. He thought of streaming services before streaming was a thing. He thought to put solar panels on our house before anybody did, before anybody thought of solar, and he was really all about boosting entrepreneurship. So I would fly my friends down to Kingston after, I graduated while I was there working with the family business, just because I was a little homesick,
Now, did you know you always had money?
Yeah.
Like your family, you always, but you felt you were different, right? Being raised.
You know what? I knew that we had money, but I never used it as a tool to take advantage of people or to shit on people, because there were, my parents did things that always kept me grounded. Meaning, at one point, twice a year, I would pack up a garbage bag and bring it to the Salvation Army or to family members.
So you're always giving.
Always. And for that reason, I'm not a hoarder. Hoarding is a thing.
It is a thing.
Right.
Big thing.
And so I have a life of a mentality of giving and just using what I have to attract new energy, new things. So I'm a minimalist in my house, very contemporary. If you ever come to my house, everything is, everything's white, crisp, color coded, like a psychopath.
Like a psychopath. That's
right?
funny.
So God bless it when I have kids. I'm okay with it going to shit. But yeah.
So you're in college. So
I'm in college.
21. And then
21.
Was it like media things? It pops up and you're like, oh, shoot. So what was that conversation like with mom or dad afterwards?
There was no conversation. If
Never.
you know anything about Caribbean people, we are very just like,
Okay. All right. All right.
right? Shout out to all the Caribbean people out there. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? What understood doesn't need to be explained. Mind your fucking business, right? Right? Stay in a kid's place, even though I'm 21. But, after a while, it just became open discourse, and they got to be a little bit more fluid with communicating with me. I think it just had to go to the level of me being a certain age,
Right.
and me trying to be respectful. But to be very honest with you, Phil.
No, lie to me.
Yeah.
No, of course I want honesty.
I just wanted to really have an opportunity to enjoy my life and be unapologetic about, I ride and die for my family. You know what I mean? But I wanted to have a clear mind and still work on developing me independently. And that was his thing also. Whoever you're going to be in the world, I want you to have a fair shot of doing just that and being the best you can be. You're beautiful. You're my kid. Also, I want you to work hard and really do your thing. You know?
Yeah, that's good advice.
But what I was going to say, flying my friends to Jamaica, as soon as they walked through the door, he'd ask them, so what you doing? What you up to? What you passionate about? He loved being an angel investor.
Nice.
My dad would take anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000, and we're talking US dollars for all the people in Jamaica.
Right.
To invest in them. He believed in the youth. He believed in young minds, young spirits. And he's just like, look, I'm going to spend this money anyway. I need to get rid of the money, kind of like Walmart, So we'd prefer to put it into the community, put it into kids that are excited, passionate, and doing things to change the world. And that was his thing always. He was ahead of his time, so he really understood the value of people not believing when you tell them something and then waiting 20 years later for it to be the biggest thing,
Right.
So
Right.
I'm always able to look into the forest and see the city before anybody else realizes it's going to be a goddamn city.
Man, I wish he was here. I'd love to meet the man.
Oh, amazing.
God bless him.
Yeah.
Well,
He like cuss you out just like.
Would he? Sorry, I probably cuss him back.
He wouldn't raise his voice.
I don't care. Oh, he was like... Yeah.
No, dope guy, loves food, family.
Fit right in. We probably fit right in.
He'd love you, Phil, to be very honest. He'd be like, so what you working on? What kind of business can we get together and
Let's do it.
Can we take over the world?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love people. But you know what? You actually learned quite a bit from him.
Yeah.
Because as a female and I was just hard. And I'm just gonna go ahead and address the elephant in the room, because there's African American women out there that are wondering, can they be successful and how to be successful. A lot of people not sure. and you definitely taking that to a whole nother level.
And guess what I'm gonna say to that?
Yeah.
Fuck that. And I didn't ever have that barrier because of my parents. Parents, it's so important because who your kids become is a direct line and correlation in terms of you. So how you shield them, how you program them. Yeah, the internet and TV is here, but my mom stopped me from using certain words. I was never allowed to say I was sick, tired, and it's weird for me to even say certain words now, just potting with you. I was never allowed to say the S word. S word is stress. What the fuck is that?
Oh.
So the moment we learn a word and we start to...
Can we get rid of stress? I want to get rid of that word. I like that, actually.
Ugh.
Mom was smart.
So words are spells, right?
Right.
And the moment you give a definition or a feeling to a word, then it becomes a thing.
Yeah,
if
makes
it's
sense.
not in the English language or you just don't know it, you won't have a thought behind it.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes dummies are the most genius people in the world. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
That's where that comes from. So I wasn't allowed to say certain things. And I think whether she knew it or not, whatever I wanted as a kid, like if I wanted like a Barbie doll dream house or a bicycle, she'd tell me to go grab my black and white composition notebook, grab a pencil or whatever at that time. And kids use the jumbo pencils. I was just learning to write and piece letters together, and go write it down. She's like, "Don't tell me, go write it down." And I'd be like, "What the fuck is she telling me?" My 6-year-old brain, why is she telling me to write it down? You know what I mean?
Right.
What is that going to do? Is this like a list to Santa? But what she was doing essentially is programming me to goal set.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's anything that I wanted, I'd say it out loud, and then put it on paper. So then it could be mind to visual to talking about it to then obsessing about it.
Well, we know
reality,
that works. Dressing up as an Olympic champion.
Right.
We know that works.
So it then lends itself to other things. But yeah, my parents were fucking kick-ass. Hopefully my brother can say that because, when you have kids, they get different versions of you.
Yeah, there's two sides of every pancake.
Absolutely. So parents, you got to stop saying, why is my kid like this? Damn it, who the hell were you when you had the kid?
Right.
Right. So.
And you know what? Listen, that levels of the way people are raised today. I mean, even my own two children, the way my daughter was raised is much different than the way my son was raised.
Absolutely. And you just.
It's not their fault.
That.
It's not their fault.
But on the flip side of that, you don't get to blame your parents when you're a grown ass fucking person at 40 trying to talk about, I can't get my life together because my dad used to shout at me. No, go get a mentor. Go seek some therapy because a lot of us need therapy.
Yeah,
and
everybody.
Be better.
Everybody needs therapy.
Right. So, but yeah, how they really raised me and the things that they instilled in me and the things I saw them do, most importantly, because your parents will say, do this, do that. But what the hell are you doing? What am I seeing every day in the house that you're doing? I saw them get up every day, go to the office, crush it, but have fun with their passions. They turn their passions into streams of income.
Right.
So I don't know if I find something fun, I'm like, well, shit, how the hell can we turn this into a business?
There you go. And
know?
that's why you become successful though.
Yeah.
I mean, you continue.
Fun.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't have to retire if you're having fun. What if we get to pod every day?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That'd be fun.
Make $1 million every episode.
Hey, why not? Why not us?
Shout out to Joe Rogan.
Hey, listen, as I tell everybody, and Joe Rogan, I'm going to say this right to you, Joe. You got 24 hours in a day just like I do.
Yeah.
So you know what? Why can't I?
So yours is
Why
Joe
can't
Rogan.
I?
Mine's Beyonce.
Why can't I?
That's what I tell everybody. They're like, yo, how are you doing all this? I'm like, listen, we got the same amount of hours in a day as Beyonce, and she's doing it.
That's right.
I'm gonna get
That's
it
OZ.
done.
Much
Yeah.
respect. You cannot do anything but respect it.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing it. You know, when you start doing it, you're like, yeah, it's not as easy as what people think.
Shout out to my daddy. Shout out to Papa Blake. Viv Blake is amazing.
Man, thanks for sharing that story with us. That's
Absolutely.
That's
he
crazy.
changed the world. But listen, just like any organized family for organized crime,
What are you
the
talking
black
about?
family gets the shit, right? No. How you think alcohol was made? Tobacco. Go digging into the Kennedys and the Clintons. You gonna find some shit.
Yeah.
Right.
All
Right. I'm just saying. Right. So he did a lot. He put a lot of kids through school. He allowed a lot of families to survive, pay their bills, and start businesses. And he was all about the small guy. And for that, we started the most successful same day loan company. So if you had a car title or a house title and you couldn't just go to the bank to get a loan, you could always come to us and get some money.
Yeah, the cash, baby.
Oh yeah,
Had the cash.
and we had some loan sharks
There
too,
you
so
go.
you better pay up.
That's right. Collectors. I like to refer to them as collectors.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Well, you know what? Let's get back into you.
Come on, let's do it.
Because obviously you learned all this trait from your family. It's pretty clear. You got a business mind. You got a business set. You're always, you're hungry. You're determined. You're driving. Being an Olympic star. Did you face any adversity along the way where greatness
Did I
wasn't
face
great?
any adversity?
Yeah. Did you face any adversity? Come on. Not you, right?
Yeah. Me.
No, I'm going to bring this up because I know viewers that know you are going to want to know about it. Being the Olympics, you got charged with, or suspended, I should say,
Sure.
For doping.
Right, which is wild because it can happen to anybody. And so doping is such a wide, there's a wide spectrum, right? Never got any kind of offense or flagging for anything.
Now, what was it? First of all, what was it? You're doing steroids?
No,
was it steroids?
Listen, I wasn't breaking no world records.
Okay.
Listen, it was something for, it's called methylhexanamine, right? You can't even say it.
Wait a second. Isn't that like a pre-workout? Isn't that like what's...
Oh, I don't have my Red Bull can here,
No.
right? And they ain't sponsoring us. So
No.
It is in the same category as coffee or Red Bull.
Really?
Okay? Yeah. So, it's insane. And the anti-doping list changes every year. So 1 year NyQuil could be banned. The other year it could be totally legal.
All right, so now I got to ask you, because I'm finally putting some pieces together here.
Sure.
Do you think somebody had it out for you?
You know what?
I mean, with your dad, the family, Jamaica?
That's always my mindset.
Saying.
That's always my mindset. So excellence for me is a must, right? I don't cut corners. I strive for excellence because of that reason. In the back of my mind, I know that thing is there, and I'm never ever going to give anybody a reason to pile on anything extra. I can't help who my family is. And so whatever I do, I want it to be because of what I've done. You know what I mean? Judge me on my merits. So, I'm not the first, I'm not the last. Athletes in sport, testing them positive is a business also for the federation because they get a lot of money to go through the process to find that they're either going to have them return to sport without an offense or suspend them. So,
Is that why they, because I always wondered, like, why do they change it? Like, year after year, it's different, right?
It's politics in sport, just like anything else. Why we change laws
Right.
in the government. It helps one group of people. It doesn't benefit the other. So
Did you know you were taking it, though? Did you know you were doing
It's a regular pre-workout. It's like a vitamin.
So you didn't even have that clue that it was...
No clue. I am not a scientist. I don't know what...
Well, hold on. There's a lesson to be learned here.
Sure.
There's a lesson to be learned because if there's athletes out there today, obviously a lot of them, putting stuff in their body. I mean, you go to the gym today, everybody's got a drink in their hand.
Yeah.
And they're putting something in their body, a pre-workout, some sort of, and if they're going to be a professional athlete or they're going to do something higher...
So let me tell you
there
something.
might be some rules against that.
The media plays a huge role in this, right? Because if they put me next to anti-doping or drugging, it's going to sell a lot of newspapers with my last name. And the sensationalism, Blake and drugs. Oh my God. Papers were flying off the shelves. Let me tell you. So just running that through the news cycle. Oh, we knew it. You didn't know shit. It's something next to coffee.
Right.
Stop. So, but the fact of the matter is there was money to be made. A lot of people sitting on the panel that determined my fate were in the opposing national party. So here in America, we have Democrats and Republicans, right? Mm-hmm. In Jamaica, we have the JLP party, Jamaica Labor Party, and the People's National Party, which is PNP. So imagine you being a diehard Republican, right? And the kid... This is if you're a shitty person. The person that you're deciding their fate, maybe their parents wiped out an entire generation in your family or whatever, shut your business down, blocked you from getting some contracts, and you have the opportunity now to just scratch your balls and just level up.
You got such a great way with your words. I love it.
Because I think about when you finally have like a relief moment. What are you doing on your couch? Probably scratching your balls. And, and I'm just like, I'm sitting there before this even begins. And I'm like, well, this can go two ways. Jamaica is a very classist society. So even if I am the color of this mic stand, I'm going to be all right as long as I have money, right? So there is classism and then race. Race plays a role, but not as much as classism, right? So as long as you're able to kind of be in a class of your own or the 1%, you're gonna be fine. And that goes with how people treat you. So these people were just like, no. She's probably had this her whole life. They don't know a damn thing about me, how hard I've worked to get to this point. And they're just like, you know what? We're going to fuck her up.
When you first found out about this, what was it like to you, though?
Oh,
honestly?
my God.
I mean, I'm sure you were angry, but like...
Punch to the gut, Phil. Are you kidding me?
All the hard work, all the training, everything for nothing.
But, the type of person I am...
Somebody just took it away from you.
I cried for 2 days, and then my MO is like, fuck that. What is the silver lining in this? What's the good? Because I do believe there's good in every situation. And guess what? It's the best thing they could have ever done to me because it created a monster that helped other athletes in Jamaica that they were trying to stifle.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? So it came back, created multiple businesses, helped other athletes just to educate them on the business. So now I'm about the business of sports.
Right.
Right? I'm about the business of life because we need a system, a process, and people to master anything and to get to the next level.
So let's talk about your business because you put a lot of them together since then. Is this what kind of drove you to?
I mean, that was so Dad passed 2010, Olympics happened in 2012. I was told by a family member, you should just get a desk job. This is before the Olympics, same year my dad died. Like what you do, you need to get your life together. Why don't you just get a desk job? Like, some people I know. That to me, I remember that till this day.
Don't you hate it when somebody tells you what you should do?
And shout out to all the people that got desk jobs. Love you guys.
Nothing wrong with there's a place for everybody.
No. I got a desk and I got a job. It happened to be for myself.
Right.
But
there's nothing bad about having that.
No, we need essential workers, and you guys make the world go round. Everybody has their role, and God puts everybody here for a different reason. Now, let me tell you something. That put lit a fire under my ass, Phil, like no other. And I don't know that I've ever said that publicly. So that's a WamBam exclusive.
There you go.
Like somebody hating on you, especially a family member telling you should be some mediocre shit in your mind, in their mind. They know you're meant for greatness. But Jay-Z said, his uncle said to him, he'll never sell 1 million records, and he sold 1 million records.
That's right.
Multiple times. Same feeling. The nerve of you, the audacity. You know who I am, and you know how great I am. The fucking nerve of you to tell me some shit like that. Oh, I'm gonna show you.
But maybe that's what they wanted to say to drive you. We
No.
Sometimes when people tell you what you can't do,
it's so wasn't to drive me.
So that you can do it.
No, it wasn't to drive me, but that's how I took it because it was gonna drive me. People can't see past their own experience, and sometimes misery loves company. So if you've been robbed of something, you want somebody else to feel that, just like you. You want somebody to share that like stupid conversation, like, yeah, that happened to me too. Yeah, it happened to me. Shut up.
Right.
Right. So I knew at that point what I was against, and it was a really good lesson to show me. Just because somebody's close to me doesn't mean they always want the best for me. And we're all humans on our own journey. You could be married to them. They could be the biggest influence in your life.
Yeah,
they could still.
I've learned there's some of the closest people that are to you are the ones that want to see you fail.
Sleeping with the fucking enemy.
They want to see you fail. They want to see you fail. They want to knock you down.
And you know what? Sometimes just because they are in their life, and it just will make them comfortable.
Right.
Because now you're a mirror for them, showing them what they could be.
Or could have done.
Or could have been.
Like I said, they still got 24 hours, just like me and you.
I'm saying you're alive, you're breathing. So I said, fuck that, Phil. I said, fuck that. No way. I have time. This is my time. And I have everything at my fingertips. And where the resources didn't exist, I made them exist. Whatever seemed impossible became possible. There's no limits. I don't ever think limits. So the only thing I knew that I needed was a coach that believed in me. And to this day, if that man told me, Dom, you can run to China from New York barefoot, I'm going to start the clock right now. I'm going to take off running faster than Usain.
Run, Forrest, run. Run, Dominic, run.
Listen, and that's the type of faith my coach had in me. So I knew once I had the ability to wake up, train 3 times a day, wake up, go to rehab, wake up, go to weight room, wake up, go to, and I say wake up each time because I'm taking naps.
Okay.
Right? Wake up, go to practice, right? After practice, sometimes you got to rehab. You got to get in that cold tub to get ready for the next day. That was my life for the next 2 years. I was training in Jamaica in the world's best camp, right? While I moved, right after I graduated from college, ran the European circuit for a little bit, moved to Jamaica. My dad came home, showed me how to run the business, but my heart wasn't done with sport. So I became a regular person for like almost 2 years. And my heart was just like, every day I woke up, bitch, you crazy? Wake up again, bitch, you crazy? Oh my God. I'm like, what is this? I thought I could be done. You know, college is done, tasted the circuit as a professional. And my dad said, listen, I want you to be so understanding and submerged into the business that you know the business, that you know it like the back of your hand. I didn't know he was telling me he was dying without telling me like, look, girl, I'm not going to be here. Right. But what he was saying is, I want you to be so skilled up and educated and knowledgeable about what our family does, because I'm not going to be here to do it. And you need to be able to man the ship. And, you know, in my 21-year-old brain, 22, I got it, but I didn't get it because at that age, you're still selfish and you want to party and you want to do all the things. So I would party, wake up, go into the office. At 21, can you imagine being the boss of like 60, 50, 40-year-olds? They'd probably hate my guts.
Right.
And I'm doing what I think I need to do. And, you know, and I told him like, Dad, my heart still wants to run. And he said, all right, I'll make you a deal. If you're able to balance work life and you can still make it to practice, we can do it. But if you can't, I'm going to need you to spend some time here. And I would have been okay with just spending time. And I said, well, I want to practice. I want to train. We're now in 2010 and I need to make this Olympic team. So I got to start, you know, I need to find a camp. Went to the world's best camp in Jamaica. Dad passed and I could not stay on the island anymore. The house was just like a foreign place and I need to get the hell out of there. So I moved my mom full time to take over the office, take over the business, moved back to State College, Pennsylvania. Yeah. And I said, Coach, like before I got there, I called him from Jamaica. I said, listen, at this point, we're in September of 2010, maybe a little bit before. And I said, you know, Dad's passed. I can't stay here anymore. I don't want to be here, but I need to make this next Olympic team and I need to walk away with some hardware. What's the game plan? He's like, well, come on home, baby. We're going to do it. I said, what? Say less. What? Oh my God. Moved my ass to State College. And at that point, Phil, Dad's gone. I don't want to say the rug got pulled out from under me, but all of a sudden that cushion of life, fancy life wasn't there anymore. And shit got real.
Right.
You know? And then I looked around and I'm like, all right, people have done this before me. What do I need to do? Moved to State College, started training every day, got Adidas on board, not the way that I wanted them to, but I had their support and just did the thing. Drove my car from New York to PA and just really worked relentlessly, having goals, not knowing when they would come to fruition. But my main objective was just to make that Olympic team. And I knew that everything would kind of fall in line after and on the way to that point. I mean, you know, I'm 23, 24, you know, when I made the Olympic team and I was 25 at that point. So, you know, it's just a dope journey.
So since then, obviously, you know, you did that. You're an athlete at heart. Personal training came into play. You open up personal training business. You speak, motivational speaker. You know, you're entrepreneur in investments and real estate. What am I missing here? What am I leaving out? I know you do a lot of different things now.
I can't even say just social. Before, when I was just an athlete, it was just pro athlete, Olympian, social media influencer, yeah. Right? And of course, wherever I'd go, it'd be my job to motivate people. So it's always been motivational speaking.
Is that hard?
No, it's not. Yeah. I open my mouth. I literally love people. I will talk to a wall if I could stand it long enough. So I just love people, and understanding the science behind people, behind humans, that'll take you far. That'll take you very far. So if you can understand human beings, human operation, and really what makes people work, I think you'll be fine in any field that you choose to take off in, or just, but I knew that at the core of it, I can turn, with the right mentorship, with the right guidance, the right system, I can turn anything that I am passionate about into a business. I just needed assistance with a game plan. So after I went to the Olympics, they're like, oh, yeah, by the way, you tested positive for something in the same category as coffee. We're going to suspend your ass for. They tried to give me 6 years, got a scientist, got an attorney, fought it, and got it down to 4 years. So at this point, when I realized my fate and all of it was said and done, all of it, after all spending all the money, the only thing I cared about was saving my reputation, my credibility, and my name. That's all you got in life.
That's right.
Nobody cares about shit. Nothing else matters but your credibility. It doesn't matter what you did in the past. What have you done for me lately? Right?
Right, yeah.
And so I realized, as long as I can clear my name to let the world know this was not something intentional, this wasn't steroids, and this can happen to anybody, I then went on a mental and literal tour of speaking about what I had gone through, so we can just get this off the table early, right? I didn't want it to ever be a thing that was lingering in anybody's mind, to have any reservations to work with me. The best of them has gone through worse.
Well, you probably helped a lot of people out there just knowing that, because some people don't realize that. I mean, they're taking something, they're putting things. I mean, anywhere you go these days, weekends. I mean, rape, drugs, everything's out there. I mean, you don't know what's going on. Your favorite
athlete has gone through some shit. Now, whether the media decided to highlight it or just keep it in the cycle, then that's up to the powers that be. I mean, look at Kobe, look at Mike Tyson, our your favorite track and field athletes, and again, a lot of them had tested positive, but you don't know about it. Right. That's for another pod. Yeah. I don't want to get us sued. We don't want to
go there. We don't want to go there.
But yes, so I know so much, Phil. Like, literally, I can write 17 books right now.
You know what's funny? The one thing I can honestly say as I'm talking to you, when you get so fired up, the Jamaican accent comes out more and more, man. It comes out more.
You hear it?
I can hear it, man. I can hear it well.
Don't let me cuss you out. So, so entrepreneurship has always been a thing in my mind, but it wasn't like something I was eager to do until I had to do it and start to have that business mind. So honestly, being suspended was the best thing that ever happened to me, to be very honest.
There you go.
It forced me.
You know what? I say this all the time to the viewers too, that you have to fail. Things gonna happen to you in your life.
Hurry up and fail.
Things are gonna knock you down for a reason. And you don't realize it then. But down the road, you look back and you say, that was a pivotal moment in my life. Ooh. And you know what? When it happens, you're like, the world is coming to an end. Like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. What am I do next? But now, when you rise from that and you look back and you go, that's the reason why I became this or that, or the journey in your life.
So I'm in the solution business, right? No matter what I'm dealing with, whether it's sports, whether it's any particular business that I'm in front of at the moment, I'm in the business of finding solutions. I'll give you about 5 minutes to talk about your fucking problems, right? After that, if you keep talking about it after that, now you just love talking about problems, right? So, all right, where do we go from here? What steps do we need to take in between? So if you want to become a billionaire, millionaire, whatever the case is, and again, I'm going to say shout out to Phil B. Y'all don't know, but Phil's done very well. You tell the people. Have you told the viewers, Phil? Are you being modest with them?
It's okay. It's all good, man.
Phil.
Yeah.
So, okay. So Phil got money, y'all. So listen. The thing is, you or any person that's been very successful understands the value in solutions. Solutions is how we've managed to create successful businesses, how you've been able to come up with a system to solve a problem.
That's all it is.
That is all it is. Amazon is has been invented because we're lazy fucks.
True.
We're just lazy humans.
I learned that a long time ago when I was a kid growing up.
Solve a problem.
You know what? If you have a problem, find a solution.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
You're going to. It just doesn't matter. It's just a level of the problem.
If you allow people to just be themselves and talk to you, eventually they're going to tell you what their issues are.
That's what a problem is. It's nothing but an excuse.
That's it. What are your excuses? What do you not want to do? Let me take that burden on for you. So, and for that reason, we've been the #1 personal training company. My company's Diamond Training, my one wellness business. So we've been the #1 fitness club for one-on-one personal training company since 2016, since we've opened up. People quickly realize that, oh my God, what they provide doesn't exist anywhere else. I need that.
Right.
I need all of that.
That had been an easy transition for you being an athlete and knowing what needs to be done and what steps and journey that other people need to do.
So,
because like you said, you had a great coach and that helped you.
Yeah, but listen, some of the best athletes make the shittiest coaches.
True.
Again, ego cannot come into play when we're talking about having a successful business and having a successful, because it's not about creating a successful business. Can you get past that 2-year mark? Can you get past that 5-year mark?
It's a mindset, man. It is
a mindset. Can you wake up every single day and do it all over again and sometimes start from zero when you were at 1 million?
Well, listen, any woman that can wake up and run every morning and just get on the road, just go. How long are we going to run today? We're going to run a couple hours. Just go. Where we're going? We're just running. You're disciplined.
My motivation is living a dope ass life. I don't like to run. I can do it. I can do anything I put my mind to. I'm also not a morning person.
Hold on. Let me say this because I've been kind of nagging on the running thing for you. But, because I do hate running. But I've always told my kids this.
Sure.
Do what you hate to do. Find out what it is. I hated running, so that's the first thing I learned how to do is get up every day and run.
Yeah.
Go up 5 a.m. Whatever it is, get it out of the way.
Yeah.
And do what you hate to do. Because if you do what you hate to do, then everything else
is easy.
It's easy. So get it done and get it over with.
Yeah.
So if you do hate running like myself.
And listen, hold on. I hate when people say that shit.
Yeah, what? Go ahead. What?
I'm going to bring you to the fire.
Come on.
Why tell everybody, do what you hate to do, like as soon as possible? Why don't you give them the system behind getting it done, right? I'm going to look over at the producer, right? Get that shit done, man.
Listen, Dom, hold on. I'm going to throw you the solution. Here's the solution number 1. And this is for everybody and you to listen. The first thing you got to do is get up. Get your ass up out of bed. Get up and show up. Show up.
Phil. I'm going to push back. Now, we're going to fight right now. How do you get up if you're not used to getting up? So the solution to that is creating bulletproof accountability. I find accountability partners, whether I have to pay them or not, to make sure I get the shit done.
Exactly.
You're not great at running cameras.
Hell no. That's why I got somebody like you in the training facility to show up, make sure I'm there.
Right. So this content looks as amazing as it does because you have the best producer in the world. And that's period, point blank, and that's it. So if I'm not good at something, or I know I ain't going to school for no goddamn software engineering, I'm going to hire somebody to hold me to the fire each time, right? Or I'm going to find some friends that go to the gym like all the time and will say, hey, did you get your mileage in this week? Did you lift this week? Fun fact, I can't work out in my own facility.
Right. What? No, you can. You choose not to.
I choose not to because I'm not mentally stimulated because it's my facility.
There we go.
Clients will walk up to me, staff will, and it'll interrupt the flow of how things are going.
Okay, I want you to do that tomorrow. I want you to work out when you get back. I want you to go to your first. I just need you to do one workout. I need it work.
Sure.
I need it done. I just need one. I need to lead by example that you can do it. Yeah. You just choose not to.
Sure.
Okay.
Wait.
Yes.
Here or wait.
No, when you get back to your studio, when you get back to Arkansas.
Oh yeah.
No.
Sure.
You got to make it happen. Even though you don't want to, I want you to do that.
All right. So I'll do you one better. I will do it only if you promise to at some point come and visit us in Northwest Arkansas.
Done. Piece of cake. Done.
Hey.
Done. No problem.
Yes. Right. We'll make a party of it. We'll have the best pods with the nation's leading coaching staff, and listen, we're gonna have a party. Y'all come to NWA, and we are known as NWA, the other NWA. It's gonna be a movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Especially during the Alabama game.
Oh, That they lost. So some of them lost.
Yeah.
Some of them lost. So. Hey, so Dom, real quick before we finish up this here, tell the viewers where they can find you. How can they follow you? How can they see some of your amazing? Because you got so many hot tips and so many different things that you do. I know you're on TV right now at times too. I mean, you're there in the mornings.
Sure.
What channel are you with them?
So, Fox and KNWA. I co-host whenever the main host is not on. So sometimes if you tune in, you may or may not see me. But you can find me on Instagram at Dominique V Blake. Dominique V Blake. Our gym is Diamond Training NWA. So be sure to follow. If you follow me, I follow back. I'm not one of those celebs that doesn't, kind of just accept follows, but doesn't listen. As long as you're not a ghost follower. I hate people that just got an Instagram account and they're just there to like kind of stalk your stuff, never like anything. If you are a real life Instagram person and you care about people and you're interactive, I'm following you back, and you can slide into my DMs.
There you go. One last thing. Anything you tell the viewers out there today, give them some advice, some encouragement. Obviously, you had a different upbringing, lifestyle. You had a lifestyle you didn't even know till you were 21.
Yeah.
Ultimately, as well. You've been able to do some amazing things. You got it taken away from you, but you still turned it into a positive
Best thing that ever happened to
Best
me.
thing, and looking at you prosper now. What can you tell some of the viewers right now? Something that will help them tomorrow when they wake up.
Sure. I'll tell the viewers you can be, do, and have anything that you want. Find a mentor as fast as possible so you can skip unnecessary steps. Fail as fast as possible, and understand that the pivot is always in the very next moment. You can always turn everything around based on your attitude. And so your attitude determines what's going to happen next. I know it's a cliche thing, but the world is here for you to make the most of it. And as long as you find your tribe, you're an unstoppable beast.
There you go. So there you go, folks. You heard it from Dominique V. Blake herself. Letting you know that, it's very important that you shape your attitude in what you want it to be. Here at WamBam, we always say, remember, if your life was a movie, would it be worth watching? And if you can honestly say no, then stop being ordinary and start being extraordinary. Remember, stay positive. And as I always say, keep testing negative. It's your boy WamBam. Till next Wednesday, I'm out of here. This podcast was brought to you by Cost Plus Processing, the leader in merchant processing. If you're still paying credit card fees, make sure you call them at 1-855-391-9190 and find out why they are the leader in merchant processing.